Now, speaking of good shows and shows being canceled, right?
I was good at that.
Full House. The story, the official line is it was canceled because of rising costs. Are those rising cost salaries of the actors? Because the show went out like 14 times more successful than any show of that year. Like it was crushing the competition when it was canceled.
Yeah. You hear about that. It was renegotiation time because it was, we did 8 years and the question was, do you want to renegotiate? Is it worth it? And yet if it had that share today, but the world's completely different.
Yeah.
We're in a streaming world where people do selective viewing.
If it had that share today, that's like a religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was huge. We didn't know it was getting canceled.
Neither did we. They didn't even cancel it with a good last episode. Like she just fell off the horse and it disappeared. It's like.
And that wasn't the last one we shot. The last one we shot was a 2-parter where Steve shows up, Scott Weinger. And that was the one it was a 2-parter.
What was the memory loss one?
Well, I don't remember because I
That's
had
the last
memory
one we
loss.
saw was the memory loss one.
Was the memory loss
When
one?
both twins
Was that
were
a
in that
2-parter?
episode.
And Steve comes in at the end. At the end of the.
Then that
Yeah,
was
it was a 2-part.
That was fucking freaky.
Yeah.
It was like scary. I remember.
I don't want a kid to fall off a horse.
It was really, and it wasn't like a do type of thing. It was just like, oh my God, I cried. Like that was.
You started to deal with the show. Started to deal with like heavier issues as it went on. It has to because it has to grow
Make
at some
it
point,
older.
right?
Right.
But I remember I watched that recently when I found out we were going to interview you. So I was like, I'm going to watch the first episode and the last episode. I watched a bunch in between, but I was like, I'm going to watch the first episode of Full House and the last 2 episodes. And I remember watching it like, I don't want this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't want this to happen to Michelle.
Right.
As a fan of the show, I'm like, can she just get her memory back so we could go back to having good times?
Right.
Like, we could go back to giving each other hugs and shit like that.
Right.
And I remember when she got her memory back, I was like, oh, finally. But I guess that was the emotional ride they wanted to take you on at that point.
I kind of disconnected because that's brain trauma.
Yeah.
If you're going to play it for what it is. So I would say that I wish we could have had a do-over on that.
Please, the twins don't want to be. Well, I don't.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, because I don't mind talking about that.
Okay, well, obviously,
I'm friends with them
through
and I
Fuller
love them.
House, they had all the jokes about them not wanting to, be in it and stuff like that. But we are owed a new last episode. Like it was just. No one knew it was canceled, and I remember I kept looking. I'm like, "There's nothing coming back. Like, what's going on?"
Well, the truth of it is, when Fuller House did that tongue-in-cheek thing, I didn't really like it. I'm just being honest.
The breaking the fourth wall thing?
I didn't like it. I mean, I loved being with everybody, and if you look at my look into camera, I was trying to give love to the girls.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's what I was
see
doing
that.
because I will always love everybody from that show, everybody. And I love Ashley, Mary, Kate, and I've stayed close with them our entire career, their entire lives, and they wanted to do what they wanted to do. And I don't think you owe things to your fans when you were a
Absolutely
child
not.
actor.
Absolutely
and
not.
they've become their fashion line, The Row, is like my wife buys their stuff. I mean, I wish they had a men's line. I mean, it's such beautiful stuff. They're so good at what they do, and they're absolutely enabled, wonderful, strong, bright women.
I mean, they had to be. They built an empire. They took what they earned, what was given to them, and what they earned, and turned it into something completely different. Dave Coulier said something in an interview that I thought was very interesting that I never considered. He said when we were all hanging out doing the show, they were babies.
Yeah.
So their experience is different as far as the way that they treat the cast of the show and what it means to them. It's like they were literal babies.
They were 9 when the show ended.
Yeah.
I mean, I changed their diapers,
Right.
And then they're so wonderful and so generous. For example, when I did a Scleroderma Research Foundation benefit in New York, they arranged for one of the auction items for someone to get a tour of the Row and
Wow.
for someone to go through how they do everything. And we were just talking about it. Our board was just talking about how incredibly they've been
priceless.
so generous, and it's been hilarious to
Right.
watch auctions. You know, Conan and I were on stage one night, and the girls were there, and he's like, "This is so awkward. You know, we're bidding for your TV daughter's
Right.
clothing line." It was they're just really special, but I have love for all those people, and it's not something I take lightly. You know.
Right.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it. Now you can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it.